Evil Oracle. I'm gonna start calling it that. They're in the headlines for so many bad things, and then you get so many signs from this company. I met a guy probably I believe it was 2 years ago, and he worked for Oracle. And when they brought up Larry Ellison, or when I brought up Ellison, because at the time I was enamored by him being top five richest guy in the world, and the guy's disdain, because I guess he worked for him for a little bit. He was a tech guy, and he had so much disdain for the guy. And this guy that I met was obviously he wasn't on Larry Ellison's wealth, but he was a wealthy guy. He had some money. He was in his early 50s. He had lived some life, done some things. Anyway, this whole thing, they recently just let off 30,000 employees with an email. And then you go and you immediately hire a CFO at $26 million compensation package. Now, I don't have a problem uh, with CEOs. I understand they were rebalancing money, and those 30,000 employees are probably way more than what she's getting paid. But the same token, it's about timing for me. And this just looks bad. This just looks horribly bad because again, they did it via email. There was, that's something that there were stories that got out. There were videos, TikToks, Instagram reels, and things like that that got out showing people talking about the experience. And it wasn't like it was just like some lower level employees. It was people who had been with the company from 20, 30 years and things like that. So just to let them off like that, because they are an incredible amount of debt. They're funding the Paramount deal with Larry's son David over there with the Warner Brothers thing and situation like that. So and then they're spending hundreds of billions on AI capex spending. So and they have taken a bunch of debt on. So this company right now, I'm gonna start calling it Evil Oracle every time I see this point. And it's pretty cool. Like the good part is it's taken away from it's few women CFOs out there and things like that. So it's pretty cool that she's got that investment. So there's no diss to her at all, but it's just like the timing, the rules, it just looks bad. And I'm a big CEO guy. I like billionaires and stuff like that, but just the timing after you did it like that. Maybe if they, there's a lot of different companies that are letting go due to automation and AI. So I understand that it's not going to be popular, but just the timing of it all, it just looks horribly bad in my opinion.